Okay, everyone. Hello again, and welcome back to segment 3. We are going to finish lesson C for today's last segment. At the end of segment 2, we were unable to go into the exercises to practice. And I recommended that you take a moment to look at practice 2 on page 114. So I hope that you had a chance to do that during the break. And one thing I would like to point out before we continue is that you will notice with both of these adverb clause words, we have when and while. As we have learned before with different examples and different adverbs, the order in the sentence can often be switched or swapped or reversed. So oftentimes we can switch the order and the meaning is still the same. So one thing I would like to point out is that also these adverb clause words can also be used sometimes with simple past. Let me give one example here. I hope you can see it, sort of see it. When I was a child, I have underlined was because this indicates simple past. When I was a child, I played outside all the time. Played, ed, indicates simple past also. So this is my clause right here, starting with when. And in this case, I have begun the sentence using when. So that means I need to include a comma in the middle. This clause is serving as an introduction phrase or a transitional phrase in this sentence. Okay, so just to remind ourselves that we can use different tenses with these adverb clauses. Okay, now the word while, however, is most often used with continuous tense. Okay, and it's usually describing two actions that are happening around the same time. So let's look at practice 2. First, we will go over the answers together, and then I would like for you to listen once again to pay attention to the pronunciation and vocabulary and so on. So this exercise, we have two tasks, two goals. First, look at the sentence and decide which past action was interrupted. Okay, number the activity 1. Okay, and then number the activity 2 if that interrupted the past action. So first we have to write the correct form using past continuous, and then we're going to put the correct order, first or second. Which event happened first? Okay, example 1. While Dad was working in the garden, comma, a thief stole his car. So what was happening first? Dad was working in the garden. And then the thief stole his car. Okay, so gardening began first. And then during that time, the robber stole the car. Okay, so now let's go to number 2. Okay, what are the answers? I was eating lunch when the fire alarm suddenly, now we have go off. So what do we need to change it to? Went off. Go is irregular, so we change past tense to went. Let's talk about the order. Which one happened first? Okay. So what do you think? First, eating lunch, right? When I was eating lunch. And second, the alarm went off. Okay, number 3, we have the word fall, irregular spelling. All fell. Ali, not all. Ali, usually an Arabic name. Ali fell off a ladder while he was painting. Just add ing. He was painting the ceiling. Okay, so what's happening first? First, Ali is painting the ceiling, and second, he fell off. Number 4, when the earthquake started, simple past, the students, plural, were taking, drop the E, add ing. The students were taking a test. Okay, so what happened first? Students were taking a test. And secondly, the earthquake started. What a nightmare. That would be scary during a test, wouldn't it? Okay, number 5, I was making, drop the E, add ing, a right turn when another car hit the back of my car. So remember this one, hit. The spelling stays the same for all the tenses. Okay, what's the first action? Okay, I was making a turn. That's the first. And the second, another car hit me in the back. All right, number 6. While we were, plural, we were camping, comma, it suddenly, suddenly began to rain. All right. So what's the first action? While we were camping. Second, started to rain. Number 7, Mr. and Mrs. Gomez, this is plural, were jogging, double G, ing, in the park when a dog, began to chase them. The first action, jogging in the park, and the second action, the dog began to chase them. And number 8, while Diana, she was working, it's regular spelling, while Diana was working outside, comma, a stranger drove up to her house. First action, working outside. Second action, driver drove up to her house. And the last one here, number 9. While we were driving to the beach, comma, someone, break, past tense, broke into. This is a phrasal verb and vocab word. Broke into our garage, and irregular past tense, stole, S-T-O-L-E, our new lawn mower. Okay, checking that together, how did you do? So let me give you one more chance to listen this time without stopping. Check all the answers and make sure you got them correctly. And notice the adverb clause words and notice the spelling. Okay, let's try. Sorry.
Page 114, exercise 2A. 1.
While Dad was working in the garden, a thief stole his car.
2. I was eating lunch when the fire alarm suddenly went off. 3.
Ali fell off a ladder while he was painting the ceiling.
4. When the earthquake started, the students were taking a test. 5.
I was making a right turn when another car hit the back of my car.
6. While we were camping, it suddenly began to rain. 7.
Mr. and Mrs. Gomez were jogging in the park when a dog began to chase them.
8. While Diana was working outside, a stranger drove up to her house. 9.
While we were driving to the beach, someone broke into our garage and stole our new lawnmower.
Okay. All right, let's pause there. So I hope it was helpful to listen again to the answers and to think about which action was first and which action was second. Which adverb clause words are used? Did you notice some are in the beginning with a comma, and then some are in the middle with no comma? So take note of that. And keep in mind that we can often switch the order of the adverb clauses. Okay, any questions so far? So far, so good. I think I haven't gotten any grammar questions from anyone so far. If you do have a question, please feel free. Send me an email or give me a text message, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you feel confused. Okay, now later at the end of this segment, I'm going to give you some more homework, another chance to practice with these clause words, when and while. Also, well, I'll go ahead and tell you the homework since I'm talking about it. So as I mentioned at the end of segment 2, the first homework is to do a partner interview. Try your best to think of 5 more questions to ask and answer. Okay? If you cannot find a conversation partner, please tell me. I will try my best to maybe help you find someone or offer a suggestion, but it's very important that we practice what we are learning. Spoken English. It's most important to use in our daily lives. Okay, so that's the first homework. And I'm going to give you another possibility for another kind of question. Where were you when? You may have heard this question before. Where were you when? And let's say here a noun phrase. Was, which means I'm using past tense. Were and was indicate past. And then verb plus ing. So maybe you can think of some famous world events, maybe historical events. In the USA, a very common question is, where were you when the Twin Towers were being attacked on 9/11? So the key is using the past continuous tense in your question. So, okay, maybe you can think of other ones to ask your partner. Now, the second homework practice will be in the workbook, okay, white color book. And I will ask you to try page 105 and 107. Just a little bit more practice for lesson B and lesson C. Okay, so good luck with that. And at the beginning of day 2, we will start by checking the workbook exercises. Okay, now on the next page in the green book, on page 115, you will notice some more speaking exercises, some communicate exercises. So I will challenge you to talk with your partner as well, especially exercise 3, communicate. Let's look at the part B a little bit together. And we can see a lot of pictures here. We have about 8 pictures. And we see event 1 and event 2. Something happened first, and then something happened next. So using when and while, try to make an example, making a sentence. Let's take the first picture. We see a woman working at her computer, and then we see a tree in front of her, okay? So what happened? What happened here? Example, and the answer is at the top. B, while the woman was working, comma, a tree fell on her house. Whew, that would be scary, wouldn't it? Okay, maybe we'll try another one together. Number 2. We can see a car and the word drive. And we see a couple. We see 2 people talking to each other. And we see the description, run out of gas. So let's think to ourselves, what happened first? First, they're driving, and then they run out of gas. Or past tense, ran out of gas. Okay? So which adverb clause would you use? How about while the couple was driving on the highway, comma, they ran out of gas. Okay? Now, there's another word which is not mentioned in lesson C. Lesson C only mentions when, while. I would like to add one more. As. It's the same meaning, basically. Okay? Let's give an example. As the couple was driving on the highway, comma, they ran out of gas. Sorry, as the couple were driving on the highway, they ran out of gas. We're thinking in this case, couple means 2 people. Or when they were driving, as they were driving, they ran out of gas. Okay? Okay, we have a third and a fourth picture. Perhaps you can think to yourself, looking at the pictures first, and see if you can create a sentence first. Pardon me. Our time always goes so fast. So how about you think about 3 and 4 to yourself, and maybe you can try to create different sentences and also switch the order for a little bit extra challenge, okay? And then finally, as I mentioned, try to do practice 3 with your partner. So as a reminder, for day 2, please do page 105 and 107 in the workbook for more practice, and try to conduct a phone or video chat interview with a conversation partner to practice asking questions. 5 more questions using past continuous tense. Okay? And if you have any questions, of course, please contact me. All right. I hope that you've had some good practice today. And I hope that you will have a good evening or afternoon whenever you are watching these videos. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, so take care.